welcome to a new video.
Ой, спасибо.
Горы большие, да, но это не горы, вот это вот впереди, это просто холмы такие.
Как тавка.
This is the footage from our fall Colorado trip. We went to visit our friends end of September. Here we are going from the airport to our friend's house. Coming from Ohio, it's such a different view, but interesting in a way as well. Because there are no trees, you can see clearly in a distance. You can see the mountains, you can see different hills, you can see even small prairie dogs if you drive kind of slowly, I guess. We did a lot of driving around, so you can see, but it was such an amazing experience. Driving in a new place where the nature is so unlike where you are from or where you lived. And the first place we visited, we were actually very lucky to see buffalo or bison. I don't know, but of course they were fenced, but you can see really close. They were just right by this fence, and you can see them just grazing. Then we went hiking in the Genesee Nature Reserve or park. Pretty nice trail, not very long, comfortable hike. It is hike up, but I wouldn't say it's very difficult. The top is pretty open, so no trees blocking the view, so you can see everything. It gets pretty windy because of that, because you're on top of the mountain. It's not very high and just beautiful. Just a very beautiful view of everything. The mountains, the sky, the clouds, the forest. Of course, we're prepared for dryness of Colorado, but I don't think I was prepared for so much sun, even though where I grew up, we have sun, I would say 360 days a year. I think I was not used to such an open place where the sun just hits you without any protection for your eyes. And living in Ohio, you sometimes can get out of the forest, be somewhere where there are no trees at all. So such open place was something new to us. This is something really exciting if you like sun, but surprisingly I got so used to not having such bright sun in my face all the time that I was absolutely prepared and felt a little vulnerable at times. Another big thing we did in Colorado is to take a train ride in the mountains. Our friends recommended it because it's really a nice experience in the forest. You can see all the nature and you see you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to drive to be distracted by that. You can just sit relaxed, and we actually got an open carriage. We were just kind of late for it, so this is the one we got. At first I thought it would be kind of cold because it was pretty windy at first, but the sun was pretty warm. It was still September. And what we saw on this train ride, you can see for yourself. I will leave it to it. It has a guide. He was a funny guy, so you can hear some of his comments as well.
The Georgetown, Breckenridge, and Leadville Railway, which was known as the GD&L. Now, the first railroad in this area was the Colorado Central Railroad, which began construction in Denver in 1869. The Colorado Central followed the banks of Clear Creek through the towns of Arvada, Golden, and Idaho Springs, and finally reached Georgetown in 1877. 1893, when the Sherman Silver Purchase Act was repealed. The price of silver had been dropped so low that mining for it was no longer straight up this valley floor, which would have destroyed all of the rich railroad and mining history that we have to offer, as the interstate had already done in all of the communities east of here. However, in our case, we were lucky because the Historical Society was successful in convincing the Highway Department to locate Interstate 70 onto the north side of the canyon down the track. However, if you wait just a moment and you look off to the right-hand side of the train as soon as we clear the trees, you'll get a view down the canyon to the Devil's Gate High Bridge and the town of Georgetown beyond. And if you have some eagle eyes, you might be able to spot the train that is barreling directly toward us from the other direction. This large open area that we can see off to the left-hand side of our train is known as the outfield. This is because a little further down the track there is a large grove of aspen trees. Now, in the heyday of the mining era, that grove of aspens was actually a baseball field that the miners had put in place to play a game of ball with their friends and family on the weekends. Now, it's very possible that those miners were the original Colorado Rockies Major League Baseball team. However, I don't know how true that information is, because I know that back in the 1890s, they only could have been playing in the minor league. Only the most agile of us, children. Children between the ages of 7 and 14 were employed by the railroad and known as powder monkeys. Powder monkeys were paid a wage between 50 and 75 cents a day, and their natural speed and agility gave them the ability to light the fuse and run away before a sea of granite came raining down upon them. So kids, you remember that the next time you complain about cleaning your room, there are far worse things your parents could have you be doing instead. On this curve, I'd like everybody to try and look down to the left-hand side of the train. Down there, you might notice my good friend Charlie sitting at his mining camp. Now, old Charlie has been sitting down there ever since the mines closed, waiting for the train. However, no one has had the heart to tell him that the train does not stop here. He's lost just a little bit of weight over the last few decades, but he still looks like he's doing okay to me. Now, yesterday, someone told me that he's all skin and bones, but unfortunately, I don't even think he has any skin anymore. So once again, please don't lean outside the side of the train. Don't grab at the opposing train. Do not high-five the other train passengers. Also, please either stand on the floor or sit down in the seats. Do not sit on the sides of the cars or stand on the seats. Yeah, just like the train, the jokes only go downhill from here. In all seriousness, though, if you do have a fear of heights, I promise you, you'll get over it. Now, folks, as we cross the bridge here, I'd like to direct everybody's attention towards the west side of the train and up the canyon from going to begin our ascent to Silver Plume. Now, on the ride up, I'd like to let our locomotive number have your tickets out ready, as the brakeman and I will be around about.
After the train ride, we just wanted to walk around and found this very nice, tiny town. It was kind of fenced by the mountains. The main reason to visit Colorado was to see our friends. That's why most of the trip went on sharing here on YouTube. Eventually our trip finished and we had to go back home. And here we are in this humongous, enormous Denver airport where you can easily get lost or be on time getting from one part of it to another. So keep it in mind if you travel to Denver. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.